Hi there and welcome. If you want to see how I made this graduation cake from scratch, continue watching. Hi guys, welcome once again. So these are the ingredients that I'm using. Today we're making a lemon cake. So I use brown sugar, lemon, about 5 eggs, cake flour of course, and lemon zest. Okay, so at this point I'm just going to start with putting sugar together with the butter. Then you beat it until it's nice soft. So you saw me putting the whole thing, because in this recipe I'm using it's a double recipe. So if you want to see everything, I'll leave everything in the description, the recipe, so you can cut it into half, you can cut it in however you feel like. So lemon cake is my go-to cake at this moment. It's my favorite also. It's my go-to in terms it's very easy. The ingredients are straightforward as long as you have, I think what is expensive, it could be eggs, but yeah, eggs, butter, those are the main ingredients. So the sugar and butter that I beat, I'm going to separate it into two, because I feel like the thing that I'm making my mix in might not be so big, so that's why I decided to halve it. So once you beat your sugar and your butter, you're going to go ahead with your flour, you're going to go ahead with the baking powder. And then I love sieving my flour because it just helps to make the flour soft and light. So that is the beating, it's done. From here I'm just going to continue folding in the flour and the baking powder. Also before that I added the lemon zest. I don't know how I lost the clip of me putting the lemon zest, but somehow I lost it. So from the first butter is done, I'm going to put it in a baking tin. The baking tin that is lined with what is this thing called? Yeah, that thing you put when you are baking. I forgot the name. So this is the same process. This is the second batch. That butter that you saw me that I put earlier in the stainless steel bowl. So now I'm just mixing it to show you that there is no beating that needs to be done. I'm just using the spatula now just to mix everything together until everything is combined, and I'm going to put it also now in its own baking tin. So the idea here was to make 4-layer cake, not tier layer cake. So that's what I'm going with. Okay. Just write something here. And again with the icing sugar, I did this times 4. Yeah, the measurements times 4, because like I said, I doubled the recipe, so hence so much. Yeah, so you'll see what I did at the end. If you come for me to ask what type of icing do I make, you know, there's a lot of types of icing out there. There's swing, meringue, there's American, all those things. With this one, I just use butter and egg to hold everything together, and that's it. That's all really that I use. But in this recipe, I'm going to add a bit of vanilla flavor, just to enhance, to keep the taste. Not vanilla, but lemon. Sorry. So yeah, it's the lemon flavor that I'm going to use in this one. So we'll continue adding. At this point, I don't know, this I find this icing very nice and very well, because this, as little as it looks, it's going to cover that cake. Even if it was, I've used it also on my chocolate cake. Just 100 gram of butter and 500 of, what is this, icing sugar, 1 egg. It covers my chocolate cake, so it's a very good flavor icing, because at the end of the day, if you feel it's too thick, add a bit of warm water, and that is something that you'll see me doing in a bit. So right now I'm just dividing the butter into 2, the butter or the icing into 2. So that is the one that I want to use for the cover, and whatever is left in there, it's what I'm going to use for creme coating. So you see, I feel like it's warm, so I added a bit of hot water just to loosen it a bit. So yeah, that's how it's gonna be. Once I'm satisfied with the results, I'm going to transfer this into a plastic. So that's what I'm basically doing there. By the way, in my dessert pastry school, whatever, we were taught by German, and they don't leave nothing behind. So if you see me in this video, you know, taking out every tiny bit, just know that's how I was taught. We are not leaving anything to waste. We are not wasting anything. To vasavulio. So to vasal, so see that? We gonna clean that thing out, see. We gonna clean it out. So yeah, that's how it works. So I'm done with that. The other butter, I just decided to put it in the fridge because out there it was going to melt. The temperature is a bit high. It's a bit now a bit hot. So this is the first cake. It didn't turn out so well because the mistake that I did yesterday when I was making this cake, this is the first butter that I put. I was supposed to pop it immediately in the oven, but I mixed the other second batch while this one was waiting. That's why it turned out like this, because the butter now was separating from the flour, but the inside is okay, so we're gonna work with that. You see this one that went into the oven right away, it looks okay. So we're also going to cut that into 2. So at this point, guys, I don't have the day that I went to buy bread knife, I couldn't get any. So there's a knife that you're supposed to use, not the one that I'm using. So obviously that's my turning table. I have to put like something under. In this case, I used that cloth to hold it before I put the cake board. After the cake board, I have to put butter, then I put the cake so that the butter can hold the cake, then it doesn't move. So that is also a trick that you can learn. So yeah, now I'm just going ahead and putting that butter just in between the what it is, I don't know why I keep saying butter, the icing. I keep putting the icing in between the cakes. So like I said, we ended up with 3 layers. So yeah, at this point I realized it wasn't balancing. So make sure you play around with the cake, guys. I'm not an expert, but I just decided, you know, I've been learning through the process. So this is the one that came out very well, and it turned out that I was late to take it out of the oven, so it bent a little bit, so I'm just shredding that off. This cake is for a graduation. A very good friend of mine is graduating, and it took her quite some time for her to do so, and we are just all happy. I am happy for her, she's happy for herself, the work that she has put in. A few years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago, she started working, but she didn't give up on her studies. She went back, and by the way, this time around she was paying from her own pocket. So I mean, it's been a lot of challenges and all that. So I was like, you know, let me just make this cake to appreciate my sister, my good friend. And this friend of mine, we've been together since 2000, grade 9. Grade 9 was 2006, so you can imagine. 2006, that was grade 9. 10, 11, 12. 12 was 2009. So yeah, we've known each other since then. We were together in the hostel, we've been in the same dormitory. Yeah, we have seen it all. We have struggled together. So yeah, that's why I just decided to make an appreciation cake for her, just to motivate her, because I want to see her do her masters again. Yeah, so her graduation tassel color is blue, so that's why we are going in with this blue. Please, another thing that I learned the hard way, if you're using the coloring thing that you have to use gel. Don't use anything liquid, and anything liquid I mean moss, is it moss, or what's the name of that brand? I'll try to leave a picture here. It's this one that we buy in Vroman and what ShopRite, Checkers. Anyway, the gel, please use gel. Choose eatable coloring gel. You get that in baking tin, Northern Industry. Understand, maybe there's another baking tin in town somewhere, I'm not sure where, but I'm very sure and very positive of the one in town. So I kept adding the blue until I got to this blue that I wanted, and then eventually I remembered that, guys, there's this what is this, the word is gone, fondant, that I've had since last year, and I've never used it. This is the very first time I'm using it. So I also bought it in baking tin. It was just up there, very safe in my cupboard, and this was the opportunity to use it, because I was like, what am I gonna use for this graduation thing? Because all the decorations, all the cakes that I've seen, they look nice with I don't know, the name is gone. Is it the hood and the tassel? So I was like, yeah man, I remember that I have this. So I went on and took it. I checked a few videos on YouTube immediately. This is the very first time I'm using fondant, because I was like, oh, maybe I'll have to get someone to help me use it, or I have to learn more and what. It's just that one time I checked like how to use fondant, basic beginner, and the first thing that I picked is like, you can use something, I forgot the name, and then you can use muslin to dust on the surface that you're working on. So at this point I really forgot that the cake was going to be blue everywhere else, so I thought I was doing a good thing by adding blue, because the idea I thought it will, I don't know, in my mind at this point I was like, I thought the cake was gonna be white, so I wanted to make the hood blue, but then that's why I was playing around with this. And this also, please guys, okay, before I go to that, what I wanted to say, just look at that marble blue. And I'm planning on making a cake for the house with fondant because I just fell so much in love with this one. It's so easy to use, so that's what I made. Yeah, what did I want to say? I wanted to say this was the very first time that I was using fondant. And also, don't use, if you're coloring your fondant, don't use, make sure that you have gloves on, because it took me the whole day for that blue color to disappear in my hands. So once, I forgot to tell you that after the cream coat, I popped the cake in the fridge. So now it's nice firm. I think this is about an hour. After an hour, usually you can take even up to, depending on how your fridge is, you can use 15 minutes if it's, especially if it's a deep freezer, you just put 15 minutes or 30 minutes. But yeah, because I was carried away dealing with the fondant, I lost track of time and it was 1 o'clock. So yeah, so this is the top coat that I'm putting right now, and smooth it out, then we pop it again back in the fridge. So once I put the cake back in the fridge, I realized, like, oh, I'm putting a blue final coat, so I have to make everything white now. The fondant now has to be white. So that's what I came up with. How do I say? I am proud of myself. And remember also those blue things that I bought, those ones. Now the cake is blue and I couldn't get white in the shop, so that's why now I had to make those blue, those white balls, kind of pale situation going on there. So yeah, that's why. So there's the fondant, the hood, and the qualification, I guess. So I had this congratulation thing going on there, and I bought this earlier, and it was the only one also that I got there. So finally, this is how it looks like. We're trying to just put those balls nice, and then I'll pop it again in the fridge. But for a start, I feel like I did well for myself. Yeah, I'm quite proud of myself, because at home usually the cakes that I've been making lately, I just make creme coat and that's it. We eat from there because we also don't like too much sugar. Another thing that I did to this cake was, you see, the finish is not so nice. I was trying a lot of different patterns, different stuff, but then at the end of the day, I just chose one. So the ribbon that I'm putting at the bottom of the cake is because I felt like my butter was not gonna be enough, my blue butter, and I didn't want to make another butter, obviously, because of the butter that was not white. So I just felt like it was gonna be yellow, so that's why I decided to put the ribbon down there, and then I went with the white one to kind of match whatever is on top. Then I went with the blue thinner ribbon again on top. And then from there now I just went on now to make this new finish of the cake. You see, the tassel was a bit hard now. It was so hard to put on, but anyway, as a beginner we learn as we go. So yeah, what you think of this cake, guys? If you watched to this far, please consider subscribing, at least like this video, so that we can push this video to other viewers like you that might enjoy it. Otherwise, if you don't like it, guys, no one is gonna see this video. It's gonna die a natural death, which is not good for our channel. I mean, that's why we're not growing. We're still well under 500 subscribers. So this is how the cake looked, and now I'm just, you know, like I said, I was doing other things here, so I would finish it otherwise, but now I went on to finish it with this. So what I was doing, I was just putting the spatula in warm water just to make this texture, but what I didn't realize is I was putting this thing too low, that it was ruining the white ribbon. But I can tell you she appreciated it. Yeah, so this is what I ended up doing, and I left those rough things on the edge. I didn't clean them up. I felt like it was also giving a nice texture. So that's how it looks. That's how it looks. So I thought, let me add these glitters that I have, just to dust it off. So there you have a finished look of our graduation cake. It's a lemon cake. So there it is, me delivering it to the graduate. So thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. I'll see you guys in my next one.